Gal Indies. We're not watching the chat, so if they're asking questions, we won't be able to answer. But they can still join us on Discord, and we will be watching the Discord, so we'll post the Discord link here in the building momentarily. Let's jump over to our slides. Whoop. Enter full screen. Welcome to the finale! You made it! You survived! Everyone here has lasted 48 hours of making games. It has been a long, hard, arduous road, but you did it. Congrats to you! Applause! We are going to be spending the next few hours reviewing all the awesome games that you guys made. I have an app running in the background here. It's actually a workout app. You use it for when you want to go from doing weak squats to push-ups to weak squats to push-ups. It times you to do it. We're going to be using that tonight because we're on a harsh schedule of too many people presenting, but we want to see all your games. So throughout this presentation, I'm going to be sitting up here in the front. I will be having my screen pointed at you, and it will have the timer. It will turn red when you have 1 minute left. That's 1 minute out of 4. That's 25% of your presentation. It will be red. So don't freak out, but start wrapping up. When that happens, I will come with this mic, and I will, with love, end your talk. Because we have other people who need to talk as well. If all goes well, we should end before 8:30, and then we will spend up until 9 cleaning up, and the judges will be deliberating and will reward the prizes. So for everyone who wasn't here for the opening presentation, the theme for this jam was intentionally broken. This is our third jam, and for some reason, all of our patrons who vote on our themes picked the weirdest, most obscure ones. Last year it was unexpected results, so we had a lot of crazy, weird games, and this time it's going to be intentionally broken. I'm expecting to see a bunch of awesome broken games. The showcase in 2 weeks is for a time for you to actually play all those games. Tonight you will see small 4-minute snippets of it, but if you want to play them in 2 weeks, we're going to be polishing them up, and we'll be sharing them with you back here at the Pacific Science Center. That is on November 23rd. That is 2 weeks from now, here at the Pacific Science Center. Lots of awesome playtesting. There'll be kids here to play, and they'll give you the cruelest, most honest feedback they can ever give. We're also going to be giving out another prize at that time for another community choice 2 weeks from now. If you want to participate, you can either A, take the jam you made this weekend and show it. We'd love to see it. Or take on the Slow Jam Challenge with me. Take the next 2 weeks and polish up your game, fix some bugs, add a tile screen, bish bash bash. You can learn more about that on meetup.com/SeattleIndies. We have a bunch of other events coming up as well. The Global Game Jam 2020 is the end of January. And I don't know about you, I don't want to think about it because I just survived the Game Jam. But if you are so interested, that is once a year at the end of January. It's absolutely our biggest jam, and we do it concurrently with the rest of the world. It's a crazy huge jam. It's here at the Pacific Science Center, and you can sign up now at globalgamejam.org. I also want to call out, if you aren't thinking about doing a game jam, but you want to help us run the game jam, we would love to have your help. This being our biggest game jam, we need more people to keep it afloat. And next year, we're going to be not only in this building 4 that we were jamming in this weekend, but also the building across the way in Ackerley, building 2. So we need more people to keep all of that happening. If you don't think you're going to be able to commit to an entire weekend of jam, but a single day, or you just want to see people, but you don't want to be tired and burnt out again, help us volunteer. Particularly if you are a minority. We have a lot of white guys helping with the game jams, and it means we have a lot more white guys here jamming. But we'd like to see more minority representation. That starts with us at the leadership level. So please come join us. There's a forum on Discord for you guys to volunteer. The final presentations are starting. We gave this slide at the opening keynote, but I just want to remind you about what we're looking for. You're going to demo your game progress, whatever you have or what you might not have. If you have a video, that's great because you're not tempting the presentation gods to curse your game to break horribly. You're going to share what went well, and more importantly, you're going to share what did not go well and how you worked around it. Maybe you had to cut scope because the feature was too big, or you learned that something was too hard, or maybe just messed you up real bad. So we'd love to hear about all of those things. No more than 5 minutes. I mean 4 minutes. There were so many teams presenting that we had to shorten it, and we're sorry about that. For Global Game Jam, we'll figure out what to do better this way. Some top tips. Don't try to speak and play at the same time. Have one person playing, one person speaking. That way you're not pausing while you try to do a cool gamer move. Other than that, if you have one speaker, don't try to pass the mic. Don't try to have multiple speakers. There's dead time when you do that, and you only have 4 minutes. Start speaking as soon as you get the mic. So Matt over here, say hi, Matt. Hi. Matt will be making sure you guys get all plugged in, but it takes some time and there's some issues. You guys saw how long it took us to get mine plugged in. It will take you a bit, so you have your speaker take the mic, start working the crowd, share about your game, talk about what didn't go well, and then you can show the game as it turns on. So use every bit of your 4 minutes as you get. And then lastly, end on a high note. Don't take too long. Just because you have 4 minutes doesn't mean you have to talk for 4 minutes. You can be short and sweet. We love that. We have our lovely judges. Say hi to our lovely judges. They have very official-looking clipboards and scary pens, but they mean you no harm. They will be reviewing all the games as they come out. We will be, after this, we'll be going back to the jam space and we'll be cleaning up for a bit. You'll hand back your green lanyards and the judges will be deliberating. And then they will return to us in about 30 minutes and they'll give us an answer. And if you get an answer, you win prizes. Where are the prizes? Say with me, guys. It's jams, not trophies. We have all sorts of cool jams. We had a photo booth that I used a lot. We have best use of themes is the chocolate dip Tay-berry jam. That is if you use the intentionally broken theme or any of our diversifiers in an interesting or cool way. We have best use of art, the strawberry mojito jam. We have the best use of audio, which is the rhubarb raisin spice jam. We have the best design, the Loch Ness blackberry jam. We have the most glorious failure, the golden raspberry jam. And then we have the judge's choice, the bumbleberry jam, also known as the best jam because bumbleberry is great. Fight me. We also have everyone's favorite returning for this year. It's the community's choice. It's the spiciest jam. If you lovely people here in the audience can vote on the spiciest jam throughout the presentation. On Discord, if you are in Discord, there's a voting channel, #voting, and as the presentations happen, you can vote for the games as they come out. Also, if you vote for the community choice, that person has to eat the spicy jam, and it's funny. If you're not on Discord, you can get on Discord right now. Our Discord will have this voting poll. It'll look like this, except it's going to look way longer. It's going to look like this. But the notion being that at the very bottom, you can react to the main post with each of the different emojis. And we've assigned a different emoji for every single game. When we introduce them, we will tell you what emoji they are, and you can vote for multiple games. So as they come out, if you're like, I like that game, vote for that game. You don't have to have one vote. You can vote for all of them, or none of them, or some of them. We would love to hear your vote. Join the Discord. If you can't figure out QR codes, there's a short link. I will give you all of 30 seconds to do this now. Do it now! It's not even going to be 30 seconds. We don't have that kind of time. No, it's not Saliandy's Discord. It's a separate Discord explicitly for the Saliandy's Discord. Saliandy Game Jam. Going once, going twice. Have a friend add you if you don't get it now. Okay, demo time! Okay, our first demo is Bring Down That Wall. I don't know the full name. Yeah! Fantastic. Put your hands together! Fantastic. And Matt will help you out from here.
Yep. Thank you.
So you guys are using that mic?
Oh, that's
This is
okay.
my mic.
Oh.
This is my mic. I will use this mic to interrupt you if you guys are going too long.
All right. We are Team Reaganomics, and we're presenting Mr. Gorbachev, Tear Down This Wall.
Press the button. Turn on the
Button?
button.
All right.
Yay!
There we go. So yes, Team Reaganomics, Mr. Gorbachev, Tear Down This Wall. Mr. Gorbachev, Tear Down This Wall is a combination pinball meets block breaker meets Tetris game where you are destroying the Berlin Wall. Now, I guess going into it, how we came up with this idea, wrote down, I think about 50 different game ideas, and we went through and we picked the one that we thought was the best and fit the theme the most, and destroying walls seemed very close to destroying and intentionally broken, and so we went with that one. As far as the going from there, it'd be fun to blend different genres, so we gave that a try, saw how much we could fit together. As far as the game itself, different challenges, I suppose tech challenges, as you can see right now. We had tech challenges throughout the entire time. I was doing all of the modeling on a surface, which in retrospect was a bit of a mistake. Then we also had one laptop that didn't work, and broken GitHub repositories at different points, and not being able to push things. And do we have it yet? I don't know. Oh, on your computer or?
Tear down that ratio.
All right. Well, we're still working on it. But yeah, we have the game. Oh, I don't know what. All right. Yes. Well, hopefully we should be able to present the game soon. Basically, the idea is you're playing pinball and Tetris blocks come down the screen at you while music plays, and it's all vaguely themed off of the Berlin Wall. And yes. And I guess if you can't see, we are the classic building Discord moat. All right, are you able to get it on the screen?
I don't know how to fix that thing.
All right. I guess we can just try it as is.
Do it live.
Do it live.
Oh, hold on.
Oh? All right, backup video. There we go. As far as what went well, we actually got a really good team, somewhat by accident. My wife and I were approached by Terry and Chris, who were like, oh, do you need a musician and a programmer? Which I think is probably the best thing ever to hear at a game jam. So that was pretty amazing. And this is Chris who did the music here, and Megan did the intro, the backdrop, and then here we go with the actual pinball. And for those that aren't familiar, that is the traditional socialist fraternal greeting by the leader of East Germany at the time and the leader of Russia at the time. And then that was a famous piece of graffiti on the Berlin Wall with the title, "Please Save Us from This Deadly Love." And yeah, this is the basic idea of the game. One of the things we were planning to do but didn't get the time to it was to on the left side have sort of newsreels come in and news articles about the different points of the Berlin Wall. 30 seconds. But yeah, we'll probably get that done for the slow jam and hopefully have less issues presenting the tech at the Science Center then. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gorbachev. Tear down this wall. Next up is Terrible Transit, and on cue is the good parts of capitalism. If Terrible Transit would come up to the front and the good parts of capitalism would go over to the stairs, Matt will have you on deck. Mr. Gorbachev, Tear Down That Wall is the classical building, the first emote in the list. Terrible Transit is the bullet train. Everyone put together for Robin and Jack. And Robbie, I got your timer right here.
Cool, thank you. This is a game called Terrible Transit. It is a game that's similar to Tycoon games where you're trying to optimize the amount of transit time for your citizens. In this game, instead of trying to do the most efficient transit, you are trying to do the most inefficient transit. So I'll start by placing some train stations. And lay some train track. You can see our citizens are already showing up there. Do something like that, and we will set up a route real quick. We can add stops just like this, and then spawn our train. I didn't have time to make it do actual pathfinding, so... In this game, the citizens, they pay you based on the length of time that they're on the train as opposed to per fare. So you can actually optimize your trip by putting a bunch of just random train stations and have them go back and forth a bunch. And you actually earn more money that way. As time progresses, you can also eventually upgrade the city, which will make new places where your citizens will spawn, and they'll also try to get over here. Finally, one last feature is if I click on the train, this is them riding the train, so you can see basically how much they have left. They go green and then they go red when they're fully out. But I can add some additional cars. And the physics gets a little janky. That's going to be it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robbie! That's how we transit with the train, bullet train, and move. Next up, the good parts of capitalism. On deck, Bat and the Belfry. Bat and the Belfry, move over to the stairs. Matt will have you on deck. Everyone put your hands together for Eric! And I have your camera right over here.
So every year at the game jams, I'm like, hey, Bill, make a VR game. And then I'm like, fucking VR is hard, and everything goes wrong, and I barely get anything done. And at the end of the jam, I'm like, I'm never going to make a VR game again. And invariably, by the next jam, maybe I'm going to make a VR game. So I was thinking about, intentionally broken. I was like, there's a lot of things that are going to be broken. I was like, what about like being intentionally broke? Like I spent all my money. And so I thought I could give away all of my money to help other people. And so let's build a game about that. And it'll be in VR, so it feels good when these people are like happy that you gave them money. And so I was thinking, I want to take the Never Wetter theme, so it's going to be raining all the time, and Seattle freeze. So we're going to make friends in my game. So I made a game, and somebody was like, it's like the good parts of capitalism, where you're out in the rain, and then you're like, oh, I have $120. I could do something with that. This guy's very sad because he's all wet in the rain. I'm going to use this money to keep him dry. That makes him very happy because now he's dry, and you've used your money to make other people happy, which I think is the good part of capitalism. Very end, you realize you're now broke, but you can still do one last good deed. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric! That was the good parts of capitalism. To vote for it, that is the money with wings emoji. Up next, Bat in the Belfry. And on cue is Adrenaline. Adrenaline, move over to the stairs, so we'll have you on deck.
Test, test, test. Good evening, everybody. I am your host, Sarah. I'm bringing way more energy than the rest of my teammates currently have, and I am stalling for time. Can you hold this for me? Sure, my lovely assistant. Can you open this laptop up for me, my lovely assistant? All right, who's having a good jam tonight? All right, so we have a treat for you tonight, folks. We have a decrepit old witch wanted to use you and your Newton frog friends as ingredients in her witch's brew. In this 2D vertical platformer, you play as Gobbo the baby bat, escaping from the witch's tower, the Belfry. Your magically powered echolocation scream blasted the bell out of the belfry, knocked out the witch, and her tower has started collapsing all around you. You need to free your friends from her overgrown tower by sonic blasting their cages open. But the more you scream, the more the tower shakes, and be careful, the more the tower will break. Wonderful. We are Team Jammers. That's Jamrs. J is for Julie, our fabulous artist and character designer. Jules drew all of the adorable characters and backgrounds. She also recorded some voiceover for Gabo and his friends' sound effects, which might not have had time to make it into the game. A is for Adrian, our fabulous menu and scenes architect. His first game jam, everybody. Adrian set up our GitHub repository, hooked up all of our menus and buttons in Unity, which he, believe it or not, knew absolutely nothing about before the start of this jam. M is for Maxwell, our fabulous sound designer and composer. And Max recorded all new sounds, including using a wet pickle for Gobble's footsteps, his own jacket flapping for Gobble's wing flaps, and Julie's hilarious high-pitched voiceover. R is for Robert, our fabulous systems designer and Unity developer. Robert is the most experienced member of our team when it came to all things Unity, including animation rigging and gameplay programming. And S is for Sarah, our level designer and Unity programmer, and I assisted Rob in all things Unity and managed the project. Let's get some gameplay, please. Don't wait for me, let's watch the show. He attack, he flap, but most of all, he screech. And that's our game! How much time do we have left? Somebody, what's
You have
time?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. What went well?
You don't have to use it.
GitHub Desktop was an awesome tool for inter-team collaboration. Our team was full of very good friends with consistent positive attitudes towards each other, even under pressure, while also being receptive to feedback and critique. We managed to overcome the power outage by circumnavigating extension cords. Every member of the team did a great job managing their own tasks in a timely manner. We had art assets ready when we needed them. We had music and sound effects with time to spare, and level design was taken care of. However,
I'm sorry, Sarah, that's all the time you have. I'm really
How-
sorry. Thank you so much, Jammers! Next up, Adrenaline. If you want to vote for Bat in the Belfry, they have the bat emoji. Adrenaline is up next. On cue is Crit1 with the flame emoji. Crit1, please come to the deck. Everyone put your hands together for Adrenaline. And I have your clock right here.
Cool. We're missing one of the teammates. He left a little early, but I have me. I'm a programmer. This is Camden. He's an artist, and then our character artist disappeared earlier this morning. On the screen, I have some really fast stuff. I'm not even gonna read it all. I'm just gonna have it there. I guess the top is the only thing that really matters. It was an overall positive team experience. Besides the vague pre-production vision we had. And the minor hiccups that were throughout, things went relatively smoothly. There wasn't too many giant glaring oopsies. Yeah, so we're Adrenaline. I have a video I'm gonna play, a trailer we made. I'll just let it go from here. Hopefully the audio goes. It's not making noise. Boy, oh boy. It is definitely making noise.
Adrenaline! Team Love of Adrenaline, they are the Japanese demon Tengu emoji. Crit 1 is up next. On cue, fail to send. Fail to send. If you're on cue, please move over to where Matt is on the stairs.
All right, howdy folks. We are game's called Crit Run 1, and we are Team Wild Magic. Our game is you play as a sorcerer who has discovered or maybe conquered the Fountain of Youth, and now you are trying to fend off the druids and creatures of the forest who have come to take back their land from you that you have once stolen. The whole premise of the game is that you have spells and the enemies have attacks. Those do in-game things, just like doing damage and like protecting you and whatever. But they also do weird kind of messed up things to your UI or your screen. So our fireball damages your UI as you go through. When you get hit by certain enemies, different things will happen. Like our Treant does a shake of the screen and kind of slows down the camera follow, so it's lagging a little bit. Our werewolf will howl. And it will start making visual glitches with like colored bars on the side and things like that. And then our other ability is our time stop ability, or kind of like a frame stop. It will make the screen staticky and all the enemies will stop. But once this ability ends, all the players are gonna enemies are gonna go to where they were or where they would be, kind of like in a lag situation. To win, there's 3 rounds, and you have to beat all 3 rounds. And to lose, obviously, you lose all your hearts. To reset any of the effects or regain your health, you go back to the Fountain of Youth, and that heals you up, and that has a short cooldown on it as well. For our like plus deltas, or what went wrong, what went right, our good things were we had good constraints and good and constant communication. So we were talking all the time, and whenever we wanted something, we knew how to describe it really well to like where we weren't getting frustrated or anything like that. We had really fat asset creation. Our art was done very quickly, and code that we needed was done very quickly, so that was super useful. And we had a good starting scope, so like we didn't really feel like we planned too much or too little. So, we didn't feel like we planned too much, so that was really nice. And then our changes that we would have made, more sleep, and by that I mean pacing. We started really hard and we ended really hard, and in the middle we got burnt out. So a little more time to kind of like chill out would have been nice, and we're helping with our overall flow. Delegating assets towards the end, our artists didn't really have anything to do because we pumped those out so fast. And so at that point it was kind of like small adjustments that we made, and at that point it was very much like the last day they didn't have much to do, which was unfortunate. We were a little fuzzy on the details of what certain mechanics did or what mechanics we were including, which was unfortunate because it ended up code putting together at the end was very difficult. And then we didn't really understand how much time we needed to integrate everything. We were working up to the very last second, which was stressful to integrate all our code together and make sure it worked. So that was our last change that we made. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. We had a lot of fun making it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at Global Game Jam. Woohoo! Yeah!
Thank you so much, Team Wild Magic, for Crit 1. Crit 1 with the fire emoji. Up next, failed to send. Failed to send is the phone emoji. On cue, Osha Coaster. Osha Coaster, please meet Matt over on the stairs.
All right, hello. I'm Kate Anderson, and this is Tyler Peterson. Our game is called Failed to Send. So our game is, so the premise is you've just accidentally fumbled your phone and you've uploaded a huge album of a lot of embarrassing pictures. So you want to, as quickly as possible, destroy your phone. There's no other option. You need to stop that upload. So yeah, I was like, how I came up with this was like, okay, what's something I don't want to break? Let's break that. Yeah, so you're intentionally breaking your phone to stop this upload. The premise, like the game's mechanics are, it's you can pick up with E and you can throw with left click on your mouse. So my initial pitch failed to gather any artists. So that meant me and my old friend Pixel Art, we met up again. That was a big time sink. Luckily though, Tyler came to my aid, and he helped with a lot of additional systems programming. All right. So what did we learn? I have never really used Mechanim very much. I used it a little bit for 3D, but I learned how it works with 2D sprites. And Tyler, he learned a lot about Git and Unity and how merge conflicts work. So, I'll talk about our pipeline and what went well. The pipeline was really clean actually, except for a couple scene merge issues that we didn't communicate enough about. I told Tyler what systems I needed, and he went off and did them, and I was able to implement them fairly seamlessly into scenes and develop the puzzles. And so, as you can see here, we got a couple mechanics besides just from damaging your device by smacking against walls. You can also toss it onto your stove burner and it will deal damage. I'm sorry. So, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but there's also some triggered events. It's basically like a time trial for each thing. All right, here. So, so in this level that you got to see a brief snippet of, you aren't able to actually destroy your phone in the allocated amount of time. Just go ahead and play it. Yes. So, tossing against walls, you can't destroy it in that amount of time. So, instead, you've got this conveniently placed hole. All right. And one last mechanic is routers. Like, you can smash your routers to gain additional time. You've delayed your upload. All right, and that was our game. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tyler and Kay. That was Fail to Send, the iPhone emoji. Up next, OSHA Coaster. OSHA Coaster has head bandage as their emoji. On cue, Star Slip with the rocket emoji. Star Slip, please move over to the stairs.
Hello, 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 hello. All right, howdy y'all. So once again, I'm Terry Nguyen with the Department of Labor here. So, quite a number of us. But just to kind of focus on the game a little bit here. Overall, the whole gist of the game is that you're just trying to build some sort of amusement park, right? Where people can come and have fun and enjoy the amenities that you have. But it wouldn't be intentionally an intentionally broken game without something being broken. So while you're building up your park, the whole point of the park is not only to make money, but to also break people down, right? So how exactly does that happen? Well, every ride is designed to be about fun, right? But also designed to be rather lethal as well. Not quite to the point where you'll die, but just enough to the point where you'll at least get a little maimed, a little hurt. That's okay because we've got people on site who are there to help you. So, ends up being a bit of a tycoon game of a way. You can just pick up things on the side and build them out onto the world. I think John's showing off our lovely little design mode here. So he obviously enabled some lovely cheats, but we've got a number of things we tried to build out. And to talk about the good sides, well, the good side is that it was a lot of fun. I've never built a tycoon game before. I had my first adventure with working with somebody who was working in FPod. Also had a wondrous time working with John, who I believe has had his first Game Jam experience here. So congrats to him for that. But at the same time, some things that didn't quite go so well. We had a lot of trouble with things. Oh, maybe I should explain the game a little bit more. So I guess what you're looking at here is John is placing down a bunch of objects, and there are little creatures who are named meeples, and those meeples are essentially your guests. And since everything costs money, your guests also have a cost to acquire. But once they're there, they can just queue up for the rides and jump on something, but once they get on there, they have a chance to get injured. And once they're injured, they have to make their way all the way over to the lovely on-site ambulance, which also costs money. So they're essentially infinite money-making machine. So that's the fun stuff. But yes, downside, Fmod integration didn't quite go so well. We ultimately ended up pulling that out. We also didn't quite prioritize on the right things. I think for me, I ended up prioritizing on the hardest thing possible, which is building out our rail system, which does work incidentally. It's really jank and technically functions, but there's no way to get on it. But beyond that, it technically does work. I don't know, do you want to show them a little bit? Build a little circle? Yeah. Building the grid took forever. This grid took like quite a bit. Too big of a... It's okay. Put on a car. Go car. And it goes! Fun times. Thanks everybody. We are Department of Labor. Please vote for us with her bandage. Or head with bandage.
Thank you so much to the Department of Labor. Ozer Coaster was head bandage. Up next is Star Slip with the rocket emoji. On cue is Breakpoint with the dagger emoji. Breakpoint, please meet us at the stairs. Everyone give it up for Team Star Slip.
Hey, we're Team Star Slip, and we made a game called Star Slip. We are super original team name. Anyways, so our game. Well, let me introduce people first. So we got my friend Robert, we got Ben and Bill and Daniel. Daniel was our 3D modeler. Bill was do like storyboard, 2D art. Robert was a Unity developer. Ben was our main programmer. I was audio kind of slash Unity developer. So our game is an impending asteroid is coming to destroy Earth, and you need to fly out there and destroy it. However, the ship was not, had some issues, and so the nav computer is broken, so you have to deal with that as you fly your ship and invade aliens and asteroids. Trying to get that stuff, quaternions and all that junk. Yeah, no one knows those things. Some other things that went well, I think we had a horrible time with GitHub. We had a horrible time with importing assets. Except for audio is pretty easy. Yeah. Nothing broke. Like, we don't have any like strange out of this world bugs that they weren't fixed.
Yeah, we spent so much time just trying to get everything working and we forgot to break things.
We forgot to break things. So the ship's not actually broken, but it does do weird things. That's why
we intentionally broke the theme.
We intentionally broke the theme. That's it. Yeah. Anyways, is that it? That's our game. Star Slip.
Emoji. Best use of the IMAX audio yet. Up next, Breakpoint. Breakpoint with the dagger emoji. On cue. Bridgemaster. Bridgemaster, are you here? Excellent. Bridgemaster, to the stairs. Everyone put your hands together for Nick and Ed. And back and go.
Hello. We don't have a team name, but we have Ed here on programming. We have Mac on music and composition. We have Colin on audio and audio engineering and audio integration. We had Sam here earlier. She had a jet off a little bit earlier, and then me on art and design. That was it was one of the nice things about knowing and being a part of Seattle Indies Game Jam, or at least Seattle Indies for over a year, is being able to meet a lot of really great people. So take it away, Ed. At least I'm going to let the game kind of explain itself, at least from the very beginning. Taking a hit already. Okay, so the basic premise of this game is that we wanted a top-down melee-based game where everybody loves weapon degradation systems. They love them. So what we wanted to do is take a system that everybody hated and make it something awesome. So we've had weapons that you can take from the environment and enemies that drop them and make destroying a weapon actually awesome. So destroying a weapon explodes it, unleashes a powerful energy, and the only way to continually get more weapons is to grab them from the environment and the enemies around you and then upgrade them. And upon upgrading, you get an even stronger weapon, so you can get tiers of strength. So you can see here he's got a level 3 tier weapon to be able to kind of obliterate the enemies around him. One of the biggest failures, I think, was that 48 hours is a really short amount of time to make a game, as I think a lot of you will attest. That was probably one of the biggest things, allotting time correctly to a lot of the correct things we wanted to do. And then I think one of the things that several of the team members would have wanted to do is that even though it looks somewhat interesting, I think we really wanted to nail the sticky friction down for the mechanical gameplay part. So actually getting your hands onto the game can be kind of a frustrating experience, as many bullet hell shooters can be a pretty frustrating experience from a melee standpoint. One of the successes that we had was getting and nailing a really strong intro. That's how it goes. And then also just having a really good, strong integration for our team. This has been Breakpoint. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much, Team Breakpoint. If you guys want to play that game as much as me, check it out on HIO or join us for the showcase. That was Breakpoint with the dagger. On next is Bridgemaster. Their emoji is Bridge at Night. On cue is Slippy Mander. Slippy Mander, please join us on deck. Put your hands together for the team you all know and love. It's Doc Walker Jr. for Return of the Boogaloo.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Is this thing on? Okay, cool. Woo! So, our team created a game called The Bridgemaster. You must sacrifice the village to save the villagers. So the premise of the game is that the villager, or the village that you live on the outskirts of, is in the process of collapsing. It's being swallowed up. And you, as a magician, must save the villagers who are now stranded on these isolated islands left in the city. And it's a tile-based game. So as you'll see in a moment here, you have to save the villagers who are on these tiles. Now, one of the tricky parts is, in order to reach the villagers, you have to build bridges to get to them. And in order to build those bridges, you can't create matter out of nothing, despite being a magician. Like, you have to get the materials from the, yeah, you can go ahead. You have to get the materials from the environment around you. And yeah, let's see. So this is the Bridgemaster. And we set up a series of levels here. We managed to get about 5 levels, I think, in here. And we tried to teach the player with each level the different mechanics. So the first level teaches you how to move. You have to click to select the magician and drag across the tiles to where you want to go. And there is an entrance and an exit. So you enter a level coming from the outskirts of town, and you are going deeper into the village to find more villagers to save. So here we go. You can see the selection there, and it gets to the end tile and teleports to the next location. Now there is one of those houses that you can go adjacent to, and if you're adjacent to it, you can collect those wood resources. And now you can build the bridge across the gap. And there you go. Now this next level is where you see your first villager. And you have to form a path that will allow the villager to escape out of the village from where you came. So you collect the resources, and then the trick is that you have to build a bridge that will allow the villager to pass, and the twist is that you and the villagers cannot occupy a tile at the same time. So once you move out of the way, the villagers will take the path once one is available. So yeah, the idea is that you must intentionally break these villagers' homes despite their protests in order to save them. Yeah, so let's see, I guess I can introduce our team as this continues. We've got Steve here who worked on music. We've got Aaron who helped keep us coordinated. For a large team, we had 9 people, so that was really helpful. Sereni, Aaron, and Josh all worked on art, 3D modeling, and 2D for the UI. We got Victor who helped with all the awesome visual effects, all the purple stuff, purple particle effects, and Andrew, Josh, and I all did programming. And yeah, Josh helped, the other Josh, who's not here, helped with programming, and Andrew helped with our level design. This is one of those levels where there's potentially 2 different solutions. You can build a bridge this way.
Thank you so much for your time, Team Dogwalker Jr.
We're the Bridge
Do not
Master.
spoil that puzzle just yet. Play it for yourself. Bridge Master can be voted for with Bridge at Night. Next up is Slippy Mander. Slippy Mander with the lizard emoji. Put your hands together for the team Sexy Sexy Tomato. On cue, Brooke Billionaire Galactic Craps. You're on cue. Please join us on the deck.
Check. Woo. Okay. So we're Team Sexy Sexy Tomato. And we made a game called Slippy Mander. The first thing that came to mind when I was thinking of intentionally broken was how salamanders, I mean, they don't intentionally lose their limbs and regrow them, but, you know, what if they did? So this game almost didn't happen because I lost the programmer I was working with on the first day, but then Kyle came to the rescue, and then Justin after him also came to the rescue, and then Macaulay had awesome sound work, which you will hear shortly. But the premise of the game is you're Sally the Salamander. You're trapped in a dangerous kitchen at dusk, at a dusty old diner, and you need to intentionally break yourself to escape. Basically, if you remove Sally's back legs, she can climb. If you remove her front legs, she can jump. If you remove all her legs, she's supposed to move very fast and like a snake. We tried not to make it too horrifying. Yeah, so you can lose and regrow your limbs, but do not lose your head or you're dead, or don't land on the floor because a chef will stomp on you, and he's rather stompable? I don't know. So I did all the art and a little bit of level design, which I haven't done before, so that was fun. We'll show you the gameplay first, and then I'll talk more. Yeah, so I did all the art. Kyle did a lot of the ragdoll physics. He doesn't want to hear that word ever again. Justin did tons of like level design and lighting and programming and all kinds of stuff. Macaulay did our sound, which was, awesome. And we didn't, I think what went badly is that we didn't end up having as many levels as we wanted to, but honestly, like this went really well. Like we all got, 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night, and we're all really happy with how it turned out, and we're excited to work on it more, so that's what we got. Oh, we still have 1 minute left, just kidding.
You don't have to use it though. You can get back in time.
Thank you. So you escape through the window at the end. Ideally, we'll add more levels. I think we have all the assets now to make more levels, so we can totally do that. So we're excited to see where Sally goes next on her journey.
Thank you so much, Sexy Tomato! I've never had more anxiety when watching a jam game. You can vote for that with Slippy Mander, that is the lizard. Next up, Broke Billionaire Galactic Craps with the dice emoji.
Can we do a Mac on here? Can we do a really old Mac on here? What's up, fam? Y'all look tired. I don't know why.
If you are Boss Breaker, please be on cue over in the stairs.
Come on, Boss Breaker, get down here. So are we Team Catastrophe? I forgot. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're Team Catastrophe, and our game is called Broke Billionaire Galactic Craps. It's just like Galactic Craps. If you've ever played that, none of you have ever played that, I promise. Once we get the computer up and going, it's going to be great, but I guess I'll introduce myself. We got Spencer over there, like our lead programmer. We got Boaz, he's one of our designers. We've got John, he was also a programmer with us. Jake, right here, was also a designer. I am Jake, I was also a designer. We also have Tyler Baldwin, who's not here right now, but he's a great guy and also a designer. If you all were paying attention, you realize we have no artists. And our game looks great. So the point of our game, also Shaquille Khan, who's not here, and also did all of our audio, and it's miraculous. Our game started out as like, broke, okay, let's break things, but let's also be broke. How do you want to be broke? You bring a baby into your life. I mean, how do you want to be broke? You gamble it all away because you're sick of being rich. And that's what our game is about. It's kind of like a mini golf game, also an Angry Birds game, but in 3D and a lot more fun, I think. Okay, it's not more fun than Angry Birds, but it's definitely more fun than
Angry Birds 2.
Angry Birds 2 or Angry Birds the Emoji Movie. We have a great video to show you. Maybe. A video that was made over the course of 2 years with $300,000 and George Lucas standing over my shoulder. Are we going? No, that's not it. This is not our game. I think. I don't remember. Yeah, let's just watch this and I'll narrate it because you want me to. That's us. Now the whole point of craps is to not get a 7, right? Well, we want you to get a 7 because you're supposed to lose all your money. Everything in the room is pretty much breakable or knockoutable. It's all about bad luck. You're supposed to give yourself enough bad luck that you always get a 7. Stop winning? Yes, please. And here's a couple of features in our game. There's feedback. It tells you when you lose luck. There's a follow cam. It follows the dice. There is a cat. And cat physics. There's money. This is America's ass, people. Oh, win. This is America's win, people. Broke Billionaire Galactic Craps. We have 15 seconds. Do you guys want to say anything else? No. They all wanted to tell you to pull out your phones and vote for us.
Thank you so much, Team Catastrophe. That was Broke Billionaire Galactic Craps. You can vote with them with the dice emoji. Up next is Boss Breaker. After Boss Breaker is Ribbon of Rust. Ribbon of Rust, please join us over on the steps near Matt.
So you'll be happy to hear our composer was sick, so we have no sound, so it won't be loud. So our goals for this we're not competing, so don't vote for us, because we already worked on this project before we came here for a separate thing. It's our personal project. We just want to use the time at the jam to be with other game devs and like get some help with Unreal. So yeah, the goals were to basically get ourselves familiar with Unreal because our next project we want to use it for. So we're gonna make a small project, something we already started up. Basically, the premise is Shadow of the Colossus in VR with robots. So yeah, so you're fighting giant robots. We got pretty far with what we wanted to get for this weekend. Yeah, you can see it works. When we first started, we had no textures or nothing really moving. We just kind of had the character moving around or the player. Now the boss moves slightly, shoots at you and does cool stuff. That's about it. The video's short, so this is gonna be a quick one. But yeah, I guess
Went well.
went well. Well, the art looks good.
Yeah, it does.
I was happy with that. That was a lot of like fighting with Unreal, trying to get materials to work and figuring all that out. And then what went well for you?
I learned a lot about Unreal, but after a lot of struggle.
What didn't go well is we basically the whole time we were fighting with Unreal, just learning it because we want to learn it, and so now we know more than we did before. So I think it came out okay. It's pretty fun. All the feedback was really great. That was actually really helpful. Another reason we came here with this was to get people to help just play it and see like what they thought, and people liked it, so that's good. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. You can choose not to vote for Ribbon of Rust. Yes, the Boss Breaker. That was Boss Breaker. You can vote not to vote for Boss Breaker. Up next, Ribbon of Rust. Ribbon of Rust with the film emoji. On cue is Drag and Drop. Drag and Drop, come to the stairs for us. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Spencer. I went solo at this jam. I don't have anything to show really. There's a video on Itch of a nice little tape player. That's what I spent most of the time on. Originally, it was going to be a tape player that you could remix and sort of break apart the tape of reality. And you would use that to reorganize the game objects in the world. So it's more of a puzzle game. Didn't get that, got the tape player though, and put a bunch of math into that to make it look like it was actually spitting out tape, like a real tape player. So you can look at that video if you want to. I've got the film emoji. That's all that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Spencer. Up next is Drag and Drop, with just the team name Team. Go Team! Up on cue is Cop. Cop with the alien emoji, please join us on the stairs. Thank you.
Hey guys, so yes, we are Team. So my name's Durga, this is Jake over here setting up our computer, and he was a fabulous sound designer and composer. And this is Marcus, our local VR expert. Pretty dope, awesome models and art as well. We have two people who couldn't be here today. Fabulous Kathy, she was wonderful with game design and really helping us get our stuff planned out. And we also had an awesome programmer who helped us with textures and graphics and shaders. That's Hunter. Oh, so the premise of our game, you are a tired game developer. Who can relate to that, guys? You fall asleep doing work on your computer only to awake and realize your room has become your chaotic and broken development environment. And you have the ability to drag and drop different materials onto your room furniture to fix them. So, we had a lot of different learning moments. Super cool to work on this. I think our idea was absolutely great. Very meta, if you can't tell. And yeah, so we definitely just really learned a lot of different things. Some things that went well. We spent a lot of time at the beginning really hammering out what our idea was. We had a lot of different brainstorming. That process went great, and it really helped us all find an idea that we were on board with and that we felt invested in. So some of the things that went wrong, as will always happen whenever making a game, we had a couple of different bottleneck issues in our programming process. One of those was just really having only one VR workstation where we were able to test and debug things. That didn't really work out so great when we had several programmers trying to test out different features at once. Could have really used a project manager. Also, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Learning how to be flexible and adapt to different ideas really goes a long way in a short amount of time. And the other thing, we just had so many cool ideas, but so little time. So just learning how to think about scope and what we can accomplish in a set time frame, especially when we were all working with new tech and unfamiliar features. Okay.
I think you definitely got it.
So, yeah, overall, more things went wrong than right, but we still gained a lot of valuable insight in what it takes to work together with random strangers, just utilizing each other's strengths and skills to make a game. So, thanks everyone.
Thank you so much, team. Now the team bringing us Drag and Drop. They are the interrogating exclamation mark, question mark symbol in Discord. Feel free to vote for them. Up next is Cop with Team Cop, sharing Cop with us. On cue is Ceramicat. Ceramicat, please join us on the stairs.
Okay. Taking the mark was the wrong idea. Sorry. We are Team Cop. Mohinder, Nima, Peter, Sarah, and me. 2 designers, 1 project manager, 2 coders. Everything should be good. No, never. Okay, we started the brainstorming late night at Friday. We spent maybe 6 hours storming until we just come up with an idea, something. And that's the results. It's basically a tower defense-ish kind of game where your tower defense or your towers are not permanent, so they'll go away. You have to refresh them. But the premise of the game is you and I and everyone else destroyed the Earth, and we are searching for another planet to live. So we look at the skies, we find candidate planets, and just go. Do we have something to show?
Yeah, the sound is not gonna work.
It will, eventually. I'll use this.
I can do that. Yeah, let's do that. That's one way.
No, it's better than my voice.
There you go.
So they find the planet to land on. Everything good's there, but just happened the guy who is going to give us the signal to land happened to have a red hat, and we all know where it goes. So in the game, you have all the tools to perfectly navigate the human transportation ships into the new world. So you have some signs for danger areas, so you can alarm them if there's like a danger in the way. You have totally random security checks, just to be safe, and some rerouting and detouring way to just reroute and detour the transportation ships for their destination. But now that you have that hat on, you might not want to use those tools the way that they're intended to use. So intentionally broken the system and wait for the ships to run out of the fuel and drop from the sky. But if you drop lots of ships, your boss will notify, so you have to keep the balance there while killing people, not getting caught, which is always hard, as we all know. There you go. And that's for the game. Some challenges that we had, like every other jams, was merging Unity and GitHub. You know, everything that cannot possibly go wrong will go wrong when you merge. But this time, with these 2 amazing
Cop,
guys,
I'm so sorry to cut you off, guys. I think that's the end of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alien emoji.
You can vote with Cop with the alien emoji. Cop with the alien emoji. Up next is Ceramicat with the adorable cat emoji. Much sought after. On cue is Out of Order. Out of Order with the desktop emoji. Please come to the stairs. Everyone put your hands together for the Gouda Boys. Grab that mic and spit into it.
And spin? All right. So we're gonna spit, like spit out words. All right, I got you. All right. So we are the Gouda Boys, like the cheese. If you didn't catch that joke, and our game is called Ceramicat, and so we went through a variety of ideas for how we could make something fun but intentionally broken, and we landed on this idea about how when you're sitting there and you watch your cat and he's sitting like next to a glass of water, and you know that he is going out of his way to break your glass of water, or in this case maybe a vase. And so we were playing as this rambunctious little kitty who is going around and intentionally breaking this man's fine furniture around his house. And at some point, I think he's gonna catch wind of that, and he's gonna start he's gonna start trying to discipline you, and so yeah, I'm an artist. He's a programmer. He's another programmer. This is another artist here, and this guy made a lovely music. So all right, I knocked that over. So we had some success with some things. I feel like we achieved our aesthetic. We had some not success with some things. I felt like we attempted some things that maybe a lot of us hadn't done at jams that was a little bit out of scope, including a lot of rigging and animating. What is he doing? But in the end, it all worked out. We were definitely working up into the wire. On Saturday night, we were up until like 5 or 6 a.m. And yeah, that's the words cannot describe. You just gotta watch the cat. Peace out.
Thank you so much, Gouda Boys. Thank you so much, Gouda Boys. Up next is, you can vote for Gouda Boys with the cat emoji, the adorable cat emoji. Up next is Out of Order with the desktop emoji, Out of Order. On cue, our platforms are intentionally breaking. Are you guys here? Okay, please come to deck.
Hi everyone, I'm Ilwon and we are Team Blue Screen. And this is Minjung. She and I did programming, and Andre, he's not here, but he made awesome music for our game. So we made this game called Out of Order, it is about a battle between an icon, which player controls, and versus computer. So here the computer is trying to kill the icon, and the icon has to avoid all the projectiles, which is windows. The computer is shooting, and let those projectiles to break the screen. As the game progresses, the screen gets broken more and more, and eventually it will display blue screen that was behind the scene. And so yeah, the player has to avoid all the windows dropping down, and so at the end of the game, eventually the blue screen will show up and the game will end. So the game ends. We actually made the program shut down. So, but yeah, it doesn't appear in the video, but. So there are several things that went well. The first, we used Trello for managing our tasks. It helped keep reminding us what we need to do to finish the game. And the second one is, by choosing this concept, which is all about all of the stuff are happening inside the computer screen, we were able to put less effort to make art assets, and because we didn't have an artist in our team, so this was a huge win. And what went wrong is we originally thought of making several different attack patterns to the computer, but we actually ended up making just one. Time was too limiting than we thought it would be. So we learned what size of the scope would be more appropriate for the game jams, and we could make it better for the next time. And that's pretty much all, and it was a lot of fun, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Team Blue Screen. You can go to Blue Screen and their game Out of Order with the desktop emoji. Up next, our platforms are intentionally breaking. They are coming up with the cry emoji. On cue, Icebreakers. Icebreakers, please come to the stage right stage. Circle around if you have to. Feel free to go ahead and grab that mic and give us some intro.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? So basically, we
Is
don't
it
really have a
on?
team name, so we're just gonna be named Teamed. And we came up with this really cool platformer for you guys. So essentially, my name's George. This is Nick, and this is Jamie. I was the programmer, and these two guys made some really, really cool music that I want you guys to listen to. So hopefully the audio works. So in this game, essentially, you're just gonna be playing. Oh, there you go. Let's play it. Let's show you the game. So that's better. So in this game, all the platforms like immediately disappear. So you just gotta keep going. That's basically the premise of the game. And if you die, you just respawn immediately, which is great. What's going on with it? Yeah. Okay, I don't know what's going on.
If you thought the other game gave you anxiety, just wait for this game.
No, that wasn't it. Open sound setting, yeah. That should work? All right. Way too loud. There you go. So hopefully I still have some time to show you guys the game.
You have a minute 20.
There you go. So yeah, this platformer, everything is constantly breaking, so you just gotta keep going. So I'm gonna try to speedrun this game. I've been playing it for hours, so hopefully I'm good at it. So yeah, the biggest thing is, for the most part, things went well. I think the music is really, really good, and it blends well with the minimalistic style that we have. Code also went decently well. By the end, it's a bit of a spaghetti, but what isn't that game there, right? And something that was very difficult was actually testing every single platform and making sure that the game was actually even beatable. So yeah, maybe coming up with a better way to test the game would be nice for the next time. So yeah, that's the first stage. Hopefully I can do the next one or part of the second one. And we have like 4 stages. We probably won't have time to show them all to you guys, but everything is in the website, so it's a very cool game. So now you have a gun and you can shoot stuff, and let's keep going. Woo! So you shoot this thing, and then it decays faster, slower, sorry. So that means I might be able to make it. I made it. Woo! And this part is really hard. No, this is not the hard part. This is the hard part. Hopefully I can pull it off. Oh! I'm running out of time. I need to jump. Oh, so good! Okay. Oh, my mouse got stuck. Oh, I fell. That's okay. I have a checkpoint. Nice. So yeah, that's basically the game. It's really fun to play, so I'll just keep playing until we run out of time. I think the music is really good. Just Jamie and Nick are amazing musicians, and it was amazing working with them. I think they're very, very talented. So yeah.
That's all the time that you have. Thank you very much. Pixie does not have a name. You can vote for them with the cry emoji, and please check it out on itch.io later. Up next, we have Icebreakers with the pick emoji. On cue, Rave Boss with sunglasses. Please join us on stage right. We You're making great time tonight. Go ahead and speak into that mic, though.
Okay, hi.
Heck yeah.
Let's see if this gets projected. So we worked on a cute VR game called Icebreakers. Hopefully we can see it soon. Our theme was intentionally broken, and so our story starts out. Wait, is this working?
Oh, this is the best.
Yeah, okay, so you can't see it, but what he's doing is actually.
We can see it in the VR version, though.
Yeah.
Oh. Is this new kind of interpretive dance?
Alright, no, not yet.
Matt, you just gotta stay over there.
There we go. Okay, I think it's gonna work by a little bit. Alright. Okay. We made a game called Icebreakers. Our story starts out with two young ice climbers who are on their very first date, and what better way to break the ice than to flee from a giant sea monster. So the game involves, and unfortunately we can't show you real-time gameplay. You can hear it from what he's playing right now, but I can show you a video of it. So,
You have a minute 30.
I'll speak quickly. Okay, can you guys see that? All right. The game is about two ice climbers you control with your hands, who are they're connected by a rope and they're trying to flee the sea monster that's coming up from below them. And the only way they can defeat him is by picking off the ice off of this mountain. So they're breaking the ice to defeat the sea monster. I worked on the art. Avery here worked on audio, all the music, all the audio, and some programming. Bjorn did programming, and I think the pros of this project, at least, was good team. It was really easy to work with. It's really easy to work. I can't tell if they're reacting to the real video. We used an open source engine called Lover that was really cool. VR is cool. The challenges are VR is hard, and we couldn't actually get an audio or a video to work with audio. We can't really show you very well. Physics are hard, and Blender GLTF is all messed up. So that's our game. Oh yeah, we did some voice acting. That's all us in the game.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was Icebreakers with the pick emoji. By far the best merging of real life performance and pre-recorded media. Up next is Rave Boss with the sunglasses emoji on cue. Astral Breath was the eggplant. Astral Breath with the eggplant, please move over to stage right.
Special cool days. Hello, guys. Hey. Hey. All right. Thank you. We are the Juice Squad. I am Zan. I am the designer, and for this project, the artist. These are to my direct right. We have Aaron, who did all of our music and sound design, and a little further off, that is Brad, who did all of our programming and coding. So, we went for something with a, shall we say, an interesting premise. I'm gonna go ahead and let the game speak for itself. We can get it up. All right. While we're still waiting, have any of you heard of the hit new MMO Juicetopia? I mean, it's crazy fun. Like, you guys should all really try it out, especially if you're a fan of MMOs and like super cool raid bosses. The first couple are kind of weak, kind of dumb, but later on it gets really cool, I promise. So my character is a level 25 warlock. I've been kind of throwing out the candies like they're candy.
We got it.
Oh, got it? Oh, okay. Well, let's play the game. What are we waiting for?
low-level raid boss. I've been stomped for years by amateur players, but this isn't the life I want. I dream of a world beyond lights, dancing, music. I could be the best DJ these servers have ever seen, but I thought it never happened. Then, with the last update, something's changed. I've been given a once-in-a-lifetime chance. If I can prove myself, they'll fulfill my wildest dreams.
I think they might have made a couple of changes with the last patch. Might be worth looking into this latest boss. Let's give it a go. Oh my god. You didn't used to be able to do that. I've never seen that before, I promise. And I've been playing this game for like 10 years. Okay, in all seriousness, we worked really hard on this. Alright, so let's talk about what went well and what went wrong.
What went well? Before here, we didn't really know each other, so it was nice working with the team, and it was really fun. We did a lot of good stuff. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was Raid Boss and Juice Squad.
Yeah, Juice.
Thank you so much.
Alright, thank you.
Awesome. You can vote for Raid Boss with the sunglasses emoji in Discord, the sunglasses emoji. Up next, Astral Breath with the eggplant emoji. Quan Wildery? Team Crimson. Team Crimson, please join us on stage right. I can't pronounce your game's name. Astral Breath.
Hello, we're Astral Breath. I'm Ray. Me and Shannon and I programmed this. Shannon, I'm sorry. Ben, our composer, and Sterling, our artist, could not make it, but he's probably watching the stream, so hello. Max, special thanks to you, and Josh for helping us with modeling and introducing us as a team. I'm your dedicated staller while he sets up his computer.
I only just realized that you guys made your team name Next in Queue Is. Did you guys want me to say Next in Queue Is, Next in Queue Is? Yes.
I'm lost. There we go.
All right. What's up, everybody? I'm Ben. I did the music and sound for this. This was a game called Astral Breath, inspired by frictional games. They did Soma and like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. So this one's all about atmosphere and the vibe. We can't turn off the lights, sadly, but please enjoy this experience. So it's a horror puzzle game like those games I mentioned. The gist is that holding your breath allows the player to travel to a different realm to beat the level that would otherwise be unsolvable.
You can't say shit, but you can hear it, I guess.
There's like running above you, you're looking around, there's like dust coming from the ceiling, there's objects in the game space. You can see that, so that's the other realm. So you're sucked into where you were before. That's where you learn that you have special holding your breath abilities to break the game. So it kind of sucked you back to where you were before. This is kind of a level where there's 2 candles and a tar of pit. That's a candle. A pit of tar. So you can you blow out this candle like, hey, okay, cool, I can blow out this candle, and you're like, I gotta get across there. So I can use my special abilities on grass. But you're limited on time. Are you gonna make it? You made it! You can't see it, but the tar turned into a solid black block instead of tar. And so you're like, yeah, okay, there's scary things in here, but at least I can walk across this what used to be tar. And so that's another candle. This is basically representing level 2 that we haven't done yet. Very spooky. And then you blow it out, and that's the end of what we got.
Thank you so much. Next in the queue is. That was fantastic. Up next, we have Team Crimson with Quand Wildry. Quand Wildry? You can vote for Astral Breath with the eggplant emoji, and you can vote for Quand Wildry with the thinking emoji. In the queue is Loser Wins. Loser Wins, would you please join us in stage right?
Hello, hello. We are Team Crimson, and this is our game, Quand Wildry, I believe. So yeah, we don't know. We looked up a long name because we thought it would sound important. We went through 3 computers trying to make it work, but all in all, what can you do? So we do have a PowerPoint. I didn't quite write it, so if Henry can give a quick synopsis, that'd be cool.
The idea that we had was to have an asymmetrical multiplayer game where one person is trying to complete simple tasks like carry a ball to a place or navigate an obstacle course. The other person would intentionally break the world around them to try and stop them from doing that. We didn't really do that at all. Here I have a demo of the closest thing we got to that idea, a title screen in which one player is able to move the start button around as the other player attempts to click it.
Go ahead, Henry.
So yeah, it's this. Yeah, and then we also have kind of this as well.
You guys made 2 games?
Then we also have the PowerPoint saying what we a presentation saying what we really like doing, and then what, of course, led to not quite finishing it, but and the PowerPoint's not working too. So
We're going to be playing Mad World by Gary Jules, but it's not working.
Because they just gotta unmute the thing.
You muted it. It's not working. Anyway, in November 2019, a group of hopeful individuals gathered to create a video game. They would fail. With the theme announced, the group poured over ideas. They decided on the following, the thing that I said at the beginning. I'm not going to say it again. We ran into a number of issues. Our first trouble was with Unity networking, which was completely removed in a recent update, and none of us heard about it until yesterday. We had many last-minute Git disasters that prevented us from actually putting together the work that we had separately done. We had a general failure to communicate mechanics, goals, the overall status of the project. We also did not manage the sleep deprivation very well, and the programmers didn't really do too much on Saturday. Also, we forgot about sound entirely. We did learn a couple things. The experience has taught us how to do better for the next time. Next time we have to get more sleep so that we can actually function like actual people. Scrap some ideas faster, like really fast, especially if those ideas involve networking. Don't develop on our own, because if you do that and try and glue everything together in the last hour, then you're going to have Git explosions. Here we can show off some scattered work, mostly from the artists, because we didn't show off their stuff. This is not Sans. This is the character, never seen. This is a table, and also a vase. This is the legendary Bob Ross, painting a recreation of a classic motif. Here's a flower, I think. I'm not sure. A chandelier without any proper lighting. And that's all. Rip in peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Crimson. Up next, Loser Wins. Loser Wins, are you here? Do we have a Loser Wins? We do? Fantastic. Up next after Loser Wins is Watch Out Big Knife. Watch Out Big Knife, please come on the stage right. You can vote for Team Crimson with the thinking emoji. And up next is Loser Wins with the checkered flag emoji. We're more than halfway through the presentation. We're making fantastic time. Maybe we'll be done before 8:30. Here's open.
This is Loser Wins. I try to do the thrift store qual and the salmon run one. So it's a racing game, but you're trying to get in last place to win. So you have to kind of break your progress. No, too late. Since you have to like lose, you're always moving, so you gotta kind of choose where you're going. And there's like power-ups that make you go faster.
Was Loser Wins. You can vote for Loser Wins on Discord using the checkered flag emoji. Up next is Watch Out Big Knife, and after them, haha, yeah. Haha, yeah. Please join us on stage right. Everyone put it out there for Chicken Fingers with Watch Out Big Knife.
Hello, hello. So we are Team Chicken Fingers, and we're happy to present to you Watch Out Big Knife. It's a slice of life game. And I will say up front, I should probably give a content warning on this. I thought there were going to be some pretty dark games here, and I was sadly mistaken. Our game is about cutting off your own fingers. You know it ahead of time now. So, this game, you are tasked with a simple goal. You're trying to get out of a test in school. So you've decided to use a knife. That is it. You're going to sway the knife. You're gonna break some skin, and we'll see if you can make the cut. Yeah, go ahead. So, we set out to accomplish a pretty dark game, and it feels pretty good. It feels like we accomplished it. It's oddly, weirdly satisfying to play this game too. Like, once this all worked a few hours ago, it was really fun to do this. So you have 30 seconds to cut off all your fingers before the test starts. If you fail, then you gotta take the test of what fingers you got left. And in this case, the pinky still stayed, so we lost. So, to go over what did not go well, a lot of physics things. So in this case, we actually had one bug where the fingers got zero gravity and just started floating off of the hand into space. We had one where blood pools just kept growing out of the fingers just like it was some Stephen King movie. And we actually have one final failure from last night, which I will demonstrate here to end our presentation. The fingers exploded off the hand. If you want to give that one more time, and then we're done. All right, so our team's Patrick, who did a bunch of programming, mainly around the knife. Kristen, who did programming around all the blood. My name's Dan. I did a bunch of the stuff around the hand mechanics. We had a team member, Melody, who couldn't make it, but she did a ton of the artwork for the hands and the knife and everything. And Tress did all the music and sound effects, so it was a fun project. Thank you very much.
Put your hands together for Watch Out, Big Knife, and Chicken Fingers. You can vote for them with the poop emoji. The most literal slice of life game I've ever seen. Haha, yeah, is coming up next with the broken heart emoji. On cue, Mechanical Heart Failure. Mechanical Heart Failure, please join us on stage right. Everyone, please join us for Haha, yeah, with Sam Lee.
Woo! Hey everyone, I'm Sam. I'm gonna make sure this works first before talking. Okay, yeah. So my game is called Haha Yeah, and that's because I say that when I'm very uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable making this game. So I interpreted intentionally broken as intentionally broken-hearted, or when you have to kill your emotions for someone that you know you can't be with. I promise I'm more fun usually. This was a dull moment for me. So I wanted to take a personal narrative and kind of use gameplay mechanics to reinforce the rhetoric. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play it. The game itself is already kind of like a presentation. So here I go. I normally make more arcadey stuff. This is very different for me to actually write about myself. It's like, I don't actually introspect that much either. I haven't written in a journal since middle school. Maybe that's why a lot of this writing sounds like a middle schooler wrote it. So this next part is more of like the metaphor or analogy. So you have your character, which is you. I hope it's not too on the nose. I made your emotions a pink heart. So when I think fighting with your emotions, I thought something visceral and messy. So that's why you just crash right into it. So again, this part, yeah, I mean, you can read it later. It's like, When I also think fighting against emotions, you can't just use force. You have to use some kind of reason. So that's what these blue bars are. We'll skip this. So this part, it's things that I've had to say to myself to get over someone. So that's why they're kind of going across the screen. It's very distracting, very much gets in the way of the actual action. Yeah, you play later. It's like, yeah, I did not expect to actually finish this game. So you kind of go over the place. You can shoot. Okay. Okay, if I keep playing, I'm gonna eventually reach the end, and I will actually want you guys to play it on your own. So what worked? I actually intended to join someone else's team, but no one was free, so I did this on my own. But my great friends told me to turn this into an opportunity to make something personal, so I'm happy I did that. I guess I'm also happy because I was by myself. I didn't actually have anyone relying on me, so I did didn't actually intend to make a game by the end of this jam. I kind of just experimented with different stuff. I learned how to use shaders, I learned how to use different canvases, I learned how to do low resolution, and then by the end I was like, wait, I'm almost done with something coherent. So I kind of just wrapped it up and made this. Things that didn't go so well, because I was on my own. A lot of it I had to do by myself. That's why the art, it's all made up of primitives, it's all circles, shapes. At the same time, I don't know if I would change that because I think this is something so abstract that actually making real art does a disservice to the themes of it. Other things. And yeah, that is, thank you for listening.
That was Haha Yeah. That was Haha Yeah with Sam Lee. You can vote for that with the broken heart in Discord. Up next is Mechanical Heart Failure with the cry emoji, the sob emoji even. After Mechanical Heart Failure is going to be Science Fair Sabotage. So Science Fair Sabotage, please join us on stage right. Thank you.
So most of our team isn't actually here, which leaves me with the mic, and I think that's a mistake. I don't want to say what our game is about because most of it's a story that you'll see by the very end, and I don't want to spoil it. Essentially though, you are a robot in an empty house and you have to find your way through it, going through your normal cleanup duties. You notice that you're missing some parts, so you try to pick them up along the way so that you can complete more actions like picking up objects, which you can't do at the start of the game. We had 4 other members besides us 2. I did the robot, I made it, I modeled it, designed it, rigged it, animated it. We had Marcel do some programming on it with Ray, don't know his last name. Michael Hall did the environment, all the little kitchen pieces, furniture, all the plates on the ground, and he helped me illustrate some of the pieces that you'll see at the very end. Then we had Grace Wallace on music. I think that's her last name. I really don't know. And we had Stefan. Don't know his last name either. I believe he worked on the UI for us. I think if I had to say what we could have done better for this, it would just be, for me personally, I think everyone else did pretty well with the time that we had, and there were a lot of restrictions for what time we could use. Everyone lives pretty far away, had to leave a lot. So I think despite the fact that most of us weren't here all the time, we still got a game done before the deadline, which is amazing. But for me, I think I could have done some more polish on the animations. You can see after he drops an item, he'll do a little T-pose at the end of it, which it just bugs me now. And that is how we fulfill the theme. You're intentionally breaking yourself as a robot. At the end, once he finds out what happened to his masters, he chooses to break himself apart, and essentially the game is a loop of him waking up again, picking up all of his pieces just to regain his memories at the end each time and break himself. So, a little bit dark, but it works.
Thank you so much, Mechanical Heart Failure. Thank you so much. Up next, you can vote for Mechanical Heart Failure with the sob emoji. Up next is Science Fair Sabotage with the school satchel emoji. And cue, Shattered. Shattered, please join us on stage right.
Hello, good evening, everybody. We are Team Trash Otter. We found this otter during the opening presentation right where we were sitting, so we kept it. My name is Ishin. We have Alec, Annie, Nora, and Greg, and we're here to play Science Fair Sabotage and present it to you. We had this idea. Is the sound off? That's wonky. Yeah. I know, it started with sound, and then it died. There we go. So it's a visual novel kind of point and click. We had this idea to intentionally break someone's science fair project. We wanted to break the science fair project of James, who is our kind of the antagonist here. And we had this amazing music produced, so we're gonna have Greg talk about the music real quick.
So for the score for this, we were definitely thinking childlike and mischievous and lots of fun jazzy pieces. One of the things we really wanted to do is as the story progresses, you go further throughout this student's kind of sabotage life through elementary school, middle school, and high school. And so we tried to make the music kind of mature along with it, but only so much, still always playful and fun. So yeah.
So Alec and I, we did the programming and a lot of the writing. Nora and Greg, they did the music, and Annie, she did the art. I don't know how her hands are still attached to her body. She drew so many assets, so many backgrounds. There's a lot of detail in the backgrounds. There's like a B story, kind of about like a guy who's lost his father. That's his presentation on the left. Where is my dad? That continues throughout. It's very cute. And I figure we'll kind of just go through and show you kind of the core mechanic is to find objects around the room to put in your backpack and ruin James's presentation. And we find that our backpack is magical and that when we put chips and water in it, hey, it creates salt water from the salt and the chips and the water, and we can ruin his plant with it. And since this is a point-and-click adventure, we have a little bit of time, I figured we can play the high school level kind of together. So I'll have Alec go through and hover over the items. And the core here, we're going to skip a lot of the dialogue. The core here is we have this robot that James has, and we want to make something to break the robot. So we want to make this robot, or sorry, not break it, but make it evil. That's our play. So we have a couple of things around the room. We've got like chips. Oh, we call it mini chips. What? We have a voodoo doll. We've got this fancy watch. We have a combination lock. There's a first aid kit, and also a fly on the wall. So what three things? You can shout them out. What three things might you choose?
Voodoo doll, voodoo doll.
I heard a voodoo doll. Yeah, we want to make it evil. Also, what else?
Fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall, yeah, because we want to introduce a bug. And it's not the clock, it's a potato chip, because we want to have something, an electronic chip to put the stuff on. So we put it in there and we create a bad, evil chip, because we put a bug on the chip. That's our play. Oh, I totally misread that time thing. I thought that was how much time we had.
Yeah, one whole minute left.
No whole minute left. Oh, great. So that's the game. Essentially, we have one more level. Some good things that happened. I think the game's super charming and funny. We had the first idea that Annie had about like let's sabotage something. That's intentionally breaking. And then we kind of mulled over how we were gonna do it. And then Nora said the magic word C4, and that just you'll see if you play it where that leads. It's incredible. It's absurd. I love the absurdist. The music is fantastic. Some challenges we had. It's a lot of art to draw. We had to scrap a whole level because it was just too much to draw. It's also all of our first times doing a game jam. It's my first time making a game outside of like a tutorial, so that was pretty hard to just figure everything out. I know it's not the most technically amazing game, but we hope that the charm comes through, and we hope you enjoy playing it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Team Trash Otter, for Science Fair Sabotage. You can vote for them with the school backpack emoji. Alternate title, screw this one guy in particular. Up next is Shattered. Shattered, are you here, Shattered? Do we have Shattered?
Yes.
Fantastic. In the queue is the Democracy Hack. Democracy Hack, please join us on stage right. Everyone put your hands together for Shattered.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, my name is Pablo. I must confess my brain is fried. I haven't slept a lot, so yeah, I might say weird things. Anyway, well, we set up we made a puzzle game. We really want to show it to you. We got some mechanics going on. We think they're cool. So I'll just breeze through what went well and what went bad. Let's start with what went well. Everyone did an amazing job. Oh, first, yeah, just introduce everyone. Sorry, I haven't slept. Amy, our amazing graphic designer. Yeah, woo! James, our sound designer and audio designer. And Michael, our gifted 19-year-old programmer. And myself, Pablo, I was the level designer for this. And we also had Mikaya and Bernice, who are not here, but gave us great ideas. Oh, you want more info on this? Okay, cool. Well, we had a great time. Hold on, this is my function. This is not intentional, I swear. Okay, perfect. Sure, everyone did an amazing job. Was very supportive. We had a great time making the game, and we actually got to playtest it for the first time. It was Amy's second jam and James' first jam, and also Michael's first jam, so this was very cool. So we have a game. In our game, you play as a skeleton. You wake up in the Day of the Dead, and you have lots of lower back pain. So what you really want to do is go back to your old bed and have a good night's sleep. So in this game, every time you break something, you lose a bone, and your bones are also your health. You can see them at the top left, and you also run into your old dogs, which chase you, but they're also attracted to bones. So if they get you, they will kill you, but you might also throw a bone, right? So this works like this. Every time you hit something, you break a bone, so it'll drop. So now you can pick it up and throw it. And the dog might go fetch it, or you might also use it to break something else, right? But if you throw something at a breakable wall or at a barrel, now you won't be breaking your own arm because you're using the broken bone, right? So you got like a nice economy going on over there, and like a nice, that gives room to some puzzle. You can hear our second sound designer, Beverly, James's dog. And the rat squeaking is actually James as well. So anyway, we wanted to come up like with mechanics. So for example, you can break a wall here, and you will get, you lose one bone, right? So you have 2 HP. But if you break that wall over there, you'll actually die because the dog will just fetch you, right? Actually, yeah, well, it's just the bone. The idea is if you just break it and there's no bone, it'll fetch you. So what you gotta do is you have to put some bones in the ground, or use a bone to like break the, use that bone to throw it at the wall and fetch the key, or at the barrel. And yeah, the bone, perfect. Go get the key. That's a bug. So yeah, the basic premise of the game is you're in a room, you need to get a key, and then once you get the key, you can escape the room, so you have to make your way to the door. But there's lots of, there's some dogs. We're having some technical trouble here. Michael hasn't slept a lot. So, yeah, let's wait until he clears.
I'm afraid that's all of your time.
Oh,
Shattered.
that was all of our time.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you
well,
so much. Put your hands
I'm
together
so
for
sorry.
Shattered.
You can play the game with HIRO. So yeah, definitely. You're gonna play.
H.I.O.
Tell us what you think.
You can vote for
Thanks,
Shattered
everybody.
with the skull emoji on Discord. Up next is Democracy Hack. On Cube Game. I'm very excited about Cube Game. Cube Game, please join us on stage, right? In the meantime, here is Democracy Hack. Feel free to start talking anytime.
Sure. Just a second.
I got you, Omri. I got you.
Okay. Oh. Cool. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Omri. This is Danilo. We're both programmers. So first off the bat, the challenge we had was keeping like a nice art style and consistent. So we searched for something that's actually broken on purpose in the real world, so we decided to do a game about gerrymandering. And you want to win an election, so it's a puzzle game and you have to gerrymander to get more districts voting for you. And this is your trusty assistant, gerrymandering. And he tells you that all you need to do to win an election is have nice posters, this is you, and also do some gerrymandering. So we're gonna rush through the intro where he tells us that we can add lines to carve out districts. So we want to have districts that have a majority for the blue guys. So, nice. We have 4 more manipulations to do, 3 more. And see, doesn't seem like we're going to win this election. Oh, I'm gonna have to restart. Wait for 2020. Oh, the dog is happy. Okay, by the way, this was Capitol Hill. This is Capitol Hill again.
I can see my house from here.
Yeah, probably.
See my house too from there.
Yeah. Now, Seattle is not enough. We have to move on. Where are we going now? Is it Phoenix? Are we going to Phoenix? Okay, we're going to Phoenix, Arizona. Now we can start removing borders too. So we have 14 seconds. Let's see if we can win an election really fast. Oh my God, we won. That took 15 seconds. So yeah, this one's a hard one. And that was, what does that mean? It's going again.
That means the next people should be using this time.
Okay. That was us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Emery and Danilo. That was fantastic. That was Jerry's Manders with Democracy Hack. You can vote for them with the cityscape emoji.
By the way, favorite ice cream was Ben & Jerry's.
Oh, I get it now. I get the joke. I'm going to refund time to the next team. Cube Game, Matt and Dave, you here? Everyone give it up for Cube Game.
Oh, there we go. Try and get it. We can go on there at the end. Working? Should be playing.
Hello, I am Matthew McCord. This is David Scherer and Macaulay. I don't know how to pronounce his last name because it's too awesome. Shemansky.
Woo!
So this should be a video of the cube in action here. Wonder if I can do some kind of screen share, screen swap action here. Let's see.
Oh, is this presentation mode right now?
Mirror.
No, this is the
all right, here we go. I got the mirror displays.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so this was taken yesterday. We had a lot of technical issues because this is all crazy custom hardware that this man has made in the past month, and we decided to make a game on it because we're insane people. So this was taken yesterday. Kind of just shows you it can do all kinds of crazy colors. It's running based off of this little thing called the Photon. It's an Internet of Things device. We basically compile some C++ code on our end and flash it over to this thing. It does a firmware update, and then it runs whatever we put on it. Here is a picture of kind of the cube opened up, crazy internals, one with some of the panels missing, another of my dog because he's really cute and I made this presentation and no one could stop me from putting that in there. So this is the game I was working on. Was kind of like Simon. It gives you the top 4 corners, red, green, blue, yellow, and then it'll flash you a pattern and you try to match that pattern. And it increases in the number of colors it will show you and the number of colors you have to match every level.
The part that I didn't get to, the broken part, was I wanted to make the intensity and the time between patterns just start going very crazy and off and messing with you. The game that David made, he's kind of demoing it here. It's more of an abstract puzzle game. Every corner you touch will light up either all the corners or all the panels with a certain color. And if you combine certain corners, they will combine to make certain other colors. When you fill the whole thing with a certain color, you can get your win condition for the level. So what went well? One thing went well. The most important thing. We had fun. What could have gone better? A couple things broke. So you can read them. There's a lot of broken things. Actual photo of David fixing hardware issues 2 hours before presentations start. We spent a lot of time just fixing hardware issues. Well, he did. I don't really know what I'm doing in that realm. So I spent a lot of time pseudo-coding an entire game. That was fun to compile and stuff and try and see if it worked. Professor of Beeps was Mac. We had him come in, and all the beeps you're hearing are artisanally curated by this man here. He spent much time precision on the frequencies and the beeps. That's the sound we can get out of this cube. It's got a nice little beeper speaker. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I don't know how loud it is. It's
and so we love jams. I just moved here about a year ago. I've already done 3 jams related to Seattle Indies. I think David's done a lot more. Not sure how many Mac's done, but I've seen him at, I think, all 3 that I've done. So appreciate everyone who put this on, everyone who took the time to help out, and everyone who participated in all your awesome games. At David Does is this man on Twitter. At Matt McCord, Matt M is me on Twitter. I didn't get Mac's Twitter. I don't even know if he has one. But yeah, that's it. So if you want to play with the cube, come and find one of us. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is Cube Game. Cube Game with Matt, Dave, and Mac. You can vote for that with the crystal ball emoji, and it's basically a real-life Tesseract.
basically.
Up next is Blue Jay. Blue Jay, we didn't queue you up properly. I was too excited for Cube Game. I'm sorry. Blue Jay, if you'd like to come on and join us down. Blue Jay with Salamanderum. Salamanderum? Heck yeah. On cue next after Salamanderum is Intentionally Baroque. Intentionally Baroque, please join us on stage right.
Is it okay if I go after someone else?
Sure. Hey, Andrew.
Yes, sir?
Is it okay if he goes after someone else?
You want? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Intentionally Baroque, are you ready now? It's your lucky day because you're going now. On cue next after Intentionally Baroque is going to be Leaping and Cheatin'. Leaping and Cheatin', you join stage right. Top beater tip. Stage right's actually the actor's stage right.
Yeah, I always messed that up.
Sorry, dude.
It's okay.
All good. We're doing it.
All right, we're doing it. Yeah, do y'all like Fuzzy and Perfect Pearls and the music style that they were likened to or were likened to them? That's Baroque music, which is of course a dumb pun, and we thought of a dumb pun and then decided to make a game about it. But I also thought that Baroque music and the reason it's called Baroque kind of really fit with the intentionally broken, intentionally imperfect theme. So we started with the Baroque idea, and we knew we wanted to do something involving manipulating a cello bow to play notes, and we kept our scope really small. You can only play 4 notes. They're the open strings of the cello. C, G, D, A. Cool guys do something that starts with A. Is how you can remember that if that helps. So obviously, immediately, since we had to scale back the number of sounds we could make, at some point the music will start. We recorded a video, but then we didn't like. Yeah, there we go. And eventually, Bach and Handel will start firing music notes at you that you have to block
There's like a nice little shield.
So it's meant to be Baroque music, but since we were limiting the number of notes you could actually play, the music has to be a lot less complex. So it's not really Baroque, it's more like Renaissance maybe. Which is why I think Bach's so mad. He's wanted me to write a fugue. So that was kind of the thing that not exactly went wrong, but I had to immediately scale back. There were technical things that went wrong that I will hand off to Will to talk about in this last minute. Sorry, Will.
Oh, no worries, you're good.
So a lot of what happened was doing the bow around the certain strings. We got the general angle of it, but we couldn't get the bow to really look like it was, especially on the other sides there. So that was all we skipped. So we're gonna skip ahead to the victory here. We do have all this thing. So out of all the things we could do for the extra themes too, what we did was, why not make it grungy? And so what we did was we got the torn jeans, we got back with the plaid hair, we got Handel wearing his bandana there, and if you can hear it, this is our genius audio here. This is Rob.
I think we had a really good setup because I made all the assets and then I handed them to Will and he made a game. And it was very simple.
Yeah, very simple. Yeah, it's just, timing was another thing that went weird. But we're out of time. Okay, anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this time. That was Intentionally Broke. You can vote for it with the musical score emote on Discord. Up next is Leaping and Cheating, and after them we're going to end with Salamanderum. Salamanderum, would you join us on stage right? Leaping and Cheating is up next. Their team name is called Keynotes. Please give it up for Keynotes.
Hi, we're Team Keynote. You might remember us. We're going to talk to you about our game, Leaping and Cheating. Let's get her up. So we wanted to break a game in a couple ways. We wanted to break it in terms of design, and we wanted to break it in terms of how you might get through some challenging moments. It is a precision platformer. It's painful. It's so difficult. There were so many times where we were designing where we would stop and say, this is mind-numbingly hard. How do we even get through this? We wanted to have kind of a minimalist aesthetic. We stuck with the Commodore 64 palette because it's ugly and we liked it. This is our first stage of 6. Your goal is to get to that little orb up there on the top. Patrick did it. That's great. We're gonna move to round 2. Oh, okay. No, this is okay. That's hard. All right. Patrick's pretty good at this by now. And as the main system designer, he's really good at coming up with the levels that are really, really, really hard that I could not play. So I think, well, okay, no, he's having a lot of trouble. I think if I wanted to break this game, maybe in a different way, I would probably, if this was back in the day, I'd probably use a cheat code. And it would be pretty cool if there was some in the game. So we wanted to give you a cheat code system so that you could be cheating. You're a cheetah, why don't you cheat? So if this game is hard, cheat, get through it. We would like it if you were leaping and maybe not cheating, but you can do either one to get through some of these puzzles, and some of them are really friggin' hard. It's incredibly difficult. So some of the things that went really well for us, we really liked our concept. It was really funny to us to break it both in terms of design and in terms of literally having to break the game to get through it and tempting you as a player to break it. Some of the things that didn't go as well, our time management was difficult. We had a rough pipeline where dependencies were kind of causing other people to be stuck waiting on things, which was difficult. Everything went wrong at the last minute in terms of a few specific scripts that we turned the heck off, because if it's not working at the end of a game jam, turn it off. Another thing we did really well, you guys heard us all babble about scope during the keynote. We cut the heck out of the initial plan for this game. It got trimmed and trimmed and trimmed until what worked was what was left. I would highly recommend if something's not working around 4, kill it. Just get rid of it. And now it's broken.
Intentionally.
As if according to plan. Patrick did all of our wonderful level design. We stuck with pixel art because it's ugly and cute at the same time. So thank you for checking out our very intentionally broken game. Billy Bergia!
That was Team Keynotes with Leaping and Cheating. And I get the name now, it's because you guys gave our keynotes. You can vote for Leaping and Cheating with the tiger emote on Discord. For our final presentation today, we have Blue Jay sharing Salamander with us. Salamander, everyone give it up for Blue Jay.
All right, so, can anyone hear me? All right. So, have you ever wished that your video game characters could come to real life and talk to you? Well, now they can. Harriet is a character in an indie game. She's a salamander. She has to rescue her girlfriend, Lynn Faye Novak, aka LFN. Very on the nose, or on the trunk, you might say. So she has to rescue her from a sentient watermelon. But she's in an indie game, so she can get out into real life and toggle things. So I'll try that. Okay, so here I'm kind of walking around. It just shows you what to do. This is a switch that the green switches open the green things. So you can't touch the level. You can't touch the apples. Yeah. Right. So okay. This is a red door, but the switch is green, so I'm gonna have to go out into the real world. Okay. So these are the developers working on the game. This is the thermostat right here, or the lights. I can turn them off, and now the developers are kind of colorblind. So when I go back into the real world, into the game world, they're colorblind, so they can't see what colors of stuff they're adding. So, okay. I'm gonna skip ahead now. Okay, so this is another puzzle. There are a bunch of ice blocks there, so I wouldn't be able to get to Lynn because there's ice there. So, here, I have to look at the secret code, 9885. So when I go to the break room, and I type in, all right, now I can actually alter the thermostat. So when I go back to the game world, the developers got cold, so they were like, what's all this ice doing in the game? I'm gonna get rid of it. This is another puzzle. I didn't really develop this well enough, but basically you can get a box of donuts and it makes the developers happy, so they make the apples slower. So I guess that's it. This is the end thing of the game. What went well? You all being the winner. What didn't go well, there was like a time limit thing I wanted to include and I didn't have time to, so.
Thank you so much, Blue Jay. Everyone put your hands together for Blue Jay. You can vote for Salamander in the Discord with the Blue Jay emotes. And that is all of our presentation demos. Matt, plug me in one more time. I just got good old HDMI. At this time, we're going to let our judges slowly but surely go and deliberate. I'm going to keep you for a bit more and just kind of wrap some things up. But our judges we're gonna applaud the judges as they head out. One long, come on! Thank you so much, judges. Please judge as well. Any bribes are now or never. Oh no, you'll get the power. Yeah. So the Community Choice Awards is something that we've done year after year. And what we've generally done is we've awarded it with the rest of the prizes, which is fine, but the prizes aren't going to have, like the judges are going to take a good 20 to 30 minutes to deliberate on the final awards. So I just wanted to right now, before we do that, finalize the Community Choice Awards, because I don't want you guys going out there and changing your votes because of socializing it. What happens here in IMAX stays in the IMAX. So we're gonna go over to the Discord right now. We're gonna finalize what's in it. You get right now, vote now or never, change your votes. We're gonna lock it in here. We're gonna award whoever has the most emotes. I see some things changing. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh yeah. I'm gonna give it like a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop! I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Did we get it? Okay, this is it. This is our final awards. At 67 votes, second runner-up place goes to the Dagger, which is Breakpoint. And it was real close. It was real close, guys. But first place for the community choice, spiciest choice, goes to the Broken Heart. What's the Broken Heart's name? Is it Heartbreak? That is Sam Lee's game. Thank you so much, Sam Lee. When we award the jams, we will have a spicy jam for you. And previously, you would share in the pain of being the spicy jam, because this is like a nice lone journey, you get to eat all the spicy jam. Nice. That's all I need the presentation for. The rest of it is just my notes that I'm going to go through. We're going to be thanking a lot of people, and I want you guys to know you got to pace yourself because there's a lot of people to thank. So don't make your hands raw on the first two, because I got like 10 people to thank. So like, slow it down. Two claps only. I want to thank first and foremost the people from the Pacific Science Center who have done fantastic work for us. Matt and Lauren, are you here? Matt and Lauren, hello, Matt and Lauren are waving in the back. Matt was an absolute godsend in getting everyone's like machines all set up. We would spend way more time. I want to call out that our presentations were like estimated to be 2 hours and 24 minutes, and we did 2 hours and 3 minutes. Thank you so much for everyone hustling and keeping it nice and short and sweet, and letting me bully you off the stage. I hope that everyone enjoyed the presentations. Lauren also kept us alive throughout most of the jam. Lauren will be helping us again at the Global Game Jam, so do say hello and thank you to Lauren afterwards. Thank you. We also have a whole bunch of folks from the Seattle Indies who have volunteered their time to help. Tim Cullings is an absolute godsend and actually organizes everything behind the scenes. Thank you, Tim! Tim is so happy today because his baseball team won. And also he had a game jam. We had also a bunch of volunteers who were helping us at the volunteer desk. We had Will. Will's also currently wrangling the judges for us right now, so he cannot be with us. He's like making sure they end quickly. We also had Bilgum. We also had Jen. We had Mike. And a whole bunch of other folks like Chris. Chris, who stayed here all night. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Bilgum. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jen. I want to thank everyone from last night who kept their patience with us as we fixed the power outage. You guys are boss. I want to thank everyone who kept their presentation short today and everyone who did a video. You guys rock. I hope we see more and more of that. And I want to thank everybody who presented today because that is the huge win. So thank yourself. Applause. One of our jammers is Terrence. Hi, Terrence. Terrence did the posters for us, which I don't know if you saw, but they're very cool posters. Buy a shirt on the website. You can buy the shirt with the poster on it, and they're very cool. Do we have some people wearing them now? Anyone here like sport and show off what the shirt looks like? Look for them afterwards.
There are a lot of cool Seattle Indies shirts.
Whoa! Whoa! I'm wearing I'm modeling the Seattle Indies hoodie. Whoa! Whoa! All in our store. After this period, we're going to go back into the jam space, and the judges are going to be deliberating, and so we're going to spend the time cleaning up, breaking down, loading out. So if you have a big rig, you can move those out to the cars. You can help us clean up all the crumbs and the trash, fold up the tables, get everything all nice and clean. In the meantime, we also have a lot of food you can still eat. So help us make more mess for us to clean. We have a lot of burritos, and those things will last you a solid week. They're chicken burritos, so they're great. So please take some burritos with you. That is our gift to you. Also, the people from the Pacific Science Center want us to remind you to return your lanyards. We have these cool medieval-looking like coat hangers for your lanyards to be returned to. Do not leave now with your lanyards. If you accidentally bring it with you, you can also bring it back at the showcase in 2 weeks. I hope to see you in the showcase in 2 weeks. It's on November 23rd. It'll be from like 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. I think check themeetup.com/Indies for more information. 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're gonna have a lot of cool kids coming by. We're also gonna have another Community Choice Award, but it won't be from your peers in the developer community. It will be from kids at the Pacific Science Center. There'll be another spicy jam, and it's a chocolate spicy jam for the 2 weeks from now. So feel free to polish up your game, or don't, and just bring it, and we'll play it, and it'll be fun. That will also be entirely by people playing the game, not by presentations, which is often even more brutal. Other events we have coming up is the holiday party, December 8th. Tim says yes, December 8th. That is always a very good time. If you're a patron on patreon.com/theislandies, you get like free tickets to the holiday party. What? Is that right? That's amazing. What a deal, Tim. That's a steal. So join us at the holiday party. Join us on Patreon. We're going to do the Jam Awards hopefully at 9. That gives them 22 more minutes to deliberate. Knowing them, it won't be that. But stick with us. It won't be midnight. I promise. I think that's all the announcements that I have. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's all return to the jam space and have a wonderful night. I'll hear from you soon. Bye.